Hello and welcome to a very special Valentine's Day edition of The Adventures of Jesse Jerdak. Today I've got my beautiful and talented wife Laura with me, and she is going to instruct us on how to construct this very nifty dice bag. Say hello, Laura.
Hello, Laura. So I adapted this bag pattern from a jewelry bag tutorial on sewforhome.com. I made it bigger so that it can fit a lot of dice in it. It has 8 pockets, but you can adjust it to be more or less. And I've made many of these now from this pattern, and it's just such a great little gift to make for people or to use for yourself.
There are detailed instructions in the description below, so if you ever get stuck, just refer to those and then come back to the video. And without any further ado, why don't we jump right in?
Let's go.
Okay. Before we get started, here are all the tools you're going to need. Print off your pattern and grab some sewing clips and/or sewing pins. You'll need a medium-sized safety pin, some fabric markers or chalk, a seam ripper, and a long, thin object with a rounded end. We're using a kebab skewer because my wife is very Lebanese. You'll want a straight edge with a conspicuous blood stain on it, and you'll need something to cut your fabric, like these scissors or this rotary cutter and cutting mat. You're going to need an iron and a sewing machine with a buttonhole foot. For materials, you'll need about a yard of 44-inch quilting cotton. I've got half a yard of 2 colors, some thread, a drawstring of some kind, some felt, and some little dealy boppers to hang on the end of your drawstring, like these goddamn adorable little teddy bears. And welcome back. That's terrible, I shouldn't do that, right?
I don't care.
Okay,
It's your show.
It's not a show, it's a channel.
It's your channel.
Okay, so step 1, what are we doing, wife?
Step 1, we are going to cut our circles out. We have 3 different size circles. We've got this 15-inch circle, a 12-inch circle, and then a tiny circle. And
I'll put like a PDF or some bullshit in the description below, so you can
print out these.
Yeah, so you can print out these. How far across is that circle?
I told you 15 inches.
Well, I wasn't listening.
I know.
I'm sorry.
So we have 2 different kinds of fabric right now. This is going to be the main fabric.
I like
orange. It's going to appear on the outside.
I talked over you. I'm sorry.
You're fine. So we have the main fabric. It's going to appear on the outside, a nice orange. And we have the fabric that's going to make up the pockets. These will both appear on the inside, but we'll call this not our main fabric. What should we call
liner?
it? Yeah, our pocket liner.
Our liner.
All right, so what we're going to need is 1 of each color in the big circle, 1 of each color in the little circle, and then we're going to need, in the tiny circle, some felt cut out.
Some felt.
So we're going to start. I think a good tip here to save some time.
You've been felt.
Is to lay out each of your fabrics one over the other, and then cut the circles out at the same time from both fabrics.
What kind of fabric is this called again?
This is some quilting cotton fabric.
Quilting cotton fabric.
Grab the blue one.
And it's called that because it quilts itself, right?
Look, it's very pretty on the other side.
I know.
I'm gonna flip it this way, so in case we mark up this side with our grubby hands, it's on the side that will not be showing.
I used this side to take pictures of some rocks earlier this week.
All right. Just want to make sure our fabric is nice and flat.
No, our fabric is also felt.
And I say we do the big circle first.
Yes, big circle first.
And you can pin the circle to the fabric, but I am lazy, so I tend to just use heavy objects.
Like me.
And set them down. And my preferred method is a dull rotary cutter.
But you can use scissors for this, right?
And you can also use a sharp rotary cutter. But I just don't have a new blade.
I was going to buy her a blade, and the place that we buy rotary cutter blades...
We're out.
That place, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
All right. So I'm going to be doing a lot of this as per my own request. Because
Yeah.
if I can do it, I promise you can do it. Is it armed? Is it loaded?
It is, the safety is off.
So I'm going to just...
Get as close to the paper without cutting the paper as possible.
As possible. I'm going to cut not only the paper, but myself. How hard do I need to push, you think?
I push pretty hard. It's a dull rotary blade right now, but we can... You don't want to push so hard that you're making your fabric get pushed up like you're doing.
Well, I'm very strong.
But we can always go back and snip with some scissors where it missed.
I'm a competent crafter, but a seamster?
You have done some sewing, but I do most of our sewing.
Yeah, Laura is our stitch master. That's the technical term that people use in the industry.
I think it's a sewist.
A sewist?
Yeah.
What about a seamstress?
Sewist, I think is
it
what
really a
people
sewist?
use now.
That's awesome. I learned a new word today. I'm not getting super close to the pattern. But that's okay. I'm going to need a larger seam allowance because I'm bad at things.
No, try to get close to the pattern.
Okay, do a good job. Got it. Going forward, I will do a good job.
Because if you make it too big, our buttonhole is going to be hard to place.
Our butthole will be hard to find. Probably holding this wrong. Do you think I succeeded?
Did you cross? Maybe.
Yeah, I crossed.
We'll see how... Okay.
Moment of truth, kids. Should I take this shit?
Yeah.
And put it over there with the other shit?
Yeah, we can take that off now.
All right.
Here, you could do this part.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing this, because if I can do it, you can do it. And doing is half the battle. That's a G.I. Joe callback.
If it's easier, you can just take one layer off the other.
This is proper cutting technique, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm doing great. This is going to be the best dice bag I've ever made.
How many dice bags have you made?
Including this one? Including this one, it'll be one. So, okay, I think I got it. Oh, look at that.
One.
I just looked incredulous at it. I'm going to fold this over. Oh, man, look at that piss poor job I've done here.
No, it's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah. You just have to cut it out.
Oh, it's way better than I thought it was going to be.
I already did that section for you, though.
Oh, I could have gone all night without hearing that.
I should probably talk louder, because I'm a quiet person.
You are a quiet person. We've got my booming, rumbling voice, and if you don't talk louder, I'm going to have to manually duck you. Which sounded dirtier than I intended.
We charge for that.
Who's we? If I elbow you on camera...
It'll be hilarious. It'll be an outtake.
It'll be evidence.
Nobody wants to watch 10 minutes of you cutting out a circle.
Okay. Ta-da! Look at that. We have 2 circles. So we're almost done, right?
No, now we gotta cut out the little one.
Oh. I know orange and blue, right? But I don't care about football.
It's okay if you care about football.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing you if you do, but this is not a Broncos themed. It's that orange is my favorite color, and blue, according to the Color Wheel app that I downloaded on my phone, is the closest complementary color. But bumps actually don't do anything when you're making things,
No,
right?
it bothers me because I'm a perfectionist.
You're a perfectionist?
Yeah.
And you married me?
Yeah.
Wow, does that mean I'm perfect? Crickets. Okay. So now we're going to cut out the smaller... What part of this is this going to be?
This is the pockets.
The pockets.
So it'll go inside and form the pockets.
Okay.
The outer part of the pockets.
Outer part of the pockets.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll make sense at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep cutting. Okay, I think I did it.
All right.
What do you think? You think I did it? That one took less time. Is it because the circle is smaller?
Yeah.
I knew that. I like it when people make things. I think it's neat.
His favorite thing is orange and bears.
Yeah, orange and bears. If you make me an orange bear, forget about it.
I can make you a dice bag that looks like a bear.
How come I haven't done that yet?
Well, it might be kind of creepy because you'd have to shove it somewhere in its body.
I would
the
say,
dice.
let's go for the mouth. That way he's just eating dice. That's cute, right? Then he's goblin dice. Huh? That plays off of dice goblin, you see. I'm very clever. You can tell when people are very clever because they have to remind you that they're very clever.
Yay, a tiny circle.
You make those circles look good, honey. I'm not a cloth guy usually. I made my Geralt shirt, like the quilted armor under his shirt. I made like quilted armor for under the leather armor, which is under the chain armor, which made that a very heavy costume. Should people like rotate this as they cut, or is that a dumb idea?
Whatever's easy for them.
You know?
I usually do this on the floor and I go around sometimes with my body, but I try not to move the fabric.
As much as I'm moving it?
No, just when I'm doing the initial cutout.
Okay.
Yay!
Oh, hold on, there's one more thingy.
Yay!
Yay! Third time's the
So now we
yay.
have 4 fabric circles.
4 fabric circles.
And we're gonna throw our fabric off camera. Now we're gonna cut
more
out.
cutting?
Yeah.
We've got our smallest thingy and our scissors, and I'm going to place it on here on the corner. I'm just going to cut around it.
Okay.
Is that a good idea?
What I would do is just cut out a square and then you can kind of...
That's an even better idea. And I'm just going to cut around here. And it's cool if I cut up your pattern, right?
No.
Okay.
For one, that's the only one I have. I eyeballed that one.
You eyeballed it?
That's not even in anywhere on a PDF.
Well, it'll be in the PDF included with this video.
So that was step 1. You should have 2 big circles of each of your colors.
This is just a shit show of circles.
2 of the small circles, and then 1 really small circle of the felts. On to
Is
step
it felt?
2.
It is now. It's felt. Okay, what's next?
Buttonhole.
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 It sounds like butthole. Okay, so what's the next step?
Step 2 is sewing a buttonhole for the drawstring channel. We're gonna sew the buttonhole on our main fabric, the big circle that's 15 inches.
Okay.
And we are gonna wanna start with the button about 1.5 inches from the edge. So I'm just gonna take my little marker here, which will disappear.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna draw a line. So this is kind of where the start of our buttonhole will be when we start it on the machine. And this will disappear eventually.
So this is our line right here.
Yeah. So when we place this in the machine, this will go in the center.
So
now
that's our little line.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're gonna place this under our buttonhole foot, which I've already set up.
Do we need to cut it yet?
No.
Cool.
So we're gonna want that T to be at the bottom and showing in the middle of our foot.
Oh my god. You promise this is easy.
Yeah. We have picked the buttonhole setting on our machine, and you may want to look at the manual on your machine to see how to do a buttonhole. And all you're gonna do when you're ready is just press on this foot. And don't even touch the fabric. This is gonna...
Really?
Yep, this is gonna handle it. Just watch it.
Okay. That's a lot of trust in science. Here we go.
There it goes. It's like magic. When it's done, it'll stop. So just keep pressing in until it stops. All right.
That's it?
Yep, we are good. We have a buttonhole. So I'm gonna turn my little knob here to lift the needle out. You can go ahead and lift up your
Lift
foot.
the foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna pull some string with it, so
Yeah,
you can
it
either
is.
cut it with some scissors or use the little cutty thing on.
Should I push or pull?
It doesn't matter. Just pull out this way towards you.
Too late. I did the thing you didn't tell me to do.
All right, look, you got a buttonhole. Shall we show you?
Show her a close-up cam. Oh yeah, buttonhole. Look at that buttonhole.
Well, it's not a hole yet. That'll be this step.
So you do that with a seam ripper?
Yeah. Do you want me to do this part?
No, I have to do the work.
So a little trick, so you don't cut too far, is you can take a little pin.
I have to do the pin.
I'm gonna do the pin.
No. Oh.
And you can place it kinda at the end so you just don't rip too far. Okay, I'm doing a horrible job with this.
You should let me do the pin. the people at home that are watching are going to know that you did some of the labor, and they're going to be like, he did not all of the labor.
So have you used the seam ripper before?
I have not used it. That's clever with the pin. You can see the pin here in the cam. And so what the pin there is going to do is going to stop our seam ripper from pushing all the way through the end of our button.
If you push too hard.
Yeah. So I'm just going to stab it through there gently.
Yeah, and you just want to try to cut where the cloth part is and try not to cut the strings.
I'm going to try and do what you said. And slowly push. Boom. Just like that.
How's it look?
Like a hole in fabric.
Perfect. Now we have a buttonhole.
That's step 2 of 3. We're almost done.
No, there's more steps.
Oh. Alright, so we're on to our next step, right?
Yes, step 3.
Okay, what is this step?
So for step 3, you are going to get the 12-inch circle, the smaller circle of your main fabric, and you're going to place it wrong side up. So we put the ugly side up, and we're going to take our felt circle and put it in the middle, as close as possible to the middle of the fabric.
Should we measure that with this thing?
Yes. So I'm just going to check my work here. Make sure we're nice and center. That looks good to me. Does that look good to you?
I didn't look.
All right, do you trust me?
Yes.
All right, so we're just gonna take a pin.
I have to do this. I have to do the labor.
Don't move my circle. My perfect.
That's my circle.
And what I do is just pin it usually right in the middle here.
Okay. Just kind of let it work, and then come back out.
Yep.
I cut out the circle. This circle belongs to me. It is mine to perforate and adjust the position of as I see fit.
So that way we don't have to move the pin at any point while we're sewing this down. We are going to want to baste as close as possible to the edge of the felt. And so we want to make sure our stitch length on our machine is increased. I can increase mine up to 5. I'm not sure what the measurement is, but it says 5. So it's the top button.
Okay.
So to get our basting stitches, I just increase my stitch length by increasing this button up to 5.
Okay, cool.
We are going to start sewing, and you're going to want to do this step pretty slowly because they are long stitches and we are going around curves. You're going to have to readjust a lot when you sew.
So you said we're basting, right?
Yes, we are basting this felt circle.
Okay. So I need to go get that thing out of the kitchen with like the plunger on one end and the...
No, because they're temporary stitches, so you don't want to put any stitches in that are going to be hard to rip out.
That, you're implying that I'm going to mess up, and I don't care for that.
So with the basting, we are not going to back stitch when we first start sewing or end sewing. So what it means is usually when you're sewing, you go a little bit forward at the start and then go back and then go forward just to lock in that stitch. Don't want to do that with basting.
We're not doing that shit.
Yes, because this is temporary stitching. You don't want it to stay.
Okay. Are we taking this out?
We will be.
Oh.
You can leave it too if it's not visible.
Seems like such a waste of time and effort.
Like, huh?
Seems, did you make it? Nicely done. So I'm just going to go around in the circle, yeah?
Yes, and you're going to want to be as close to the edge as possible. Lift up your foot and adjust every few stitches or so.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah. And you can pull that out and either cut it with some scissors, or I like to pull it up here because it gives some length left over.
Again with the length.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
That looks good to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's show the kids at home. How'd I do, kids at home? Not great, I know.
No, it looks good. It's fine. This step does not have to be that perfect. So we're going to take our pin out, removing the pin, and we are ready for the next step. I like to just trim my excess string.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
You're charming.
Yeah, you're charming.
My breath is bad right now.
All right, there we go.
Look at that. We have a piece of felt in the middle of a circle.
On to step 4? We're going to lose track of the numbers at
Step
some
4.
point.
No, yeah, that was step 3. On to step 4.
Yeah. Step
4.
4.
Step 4. Man, we are going to mess that up.
I know. Step 4. We are going to take our little circles.
That we cut out. Not the smallest circle, because we've already sewn that to a thing.
And we're going to put them right sides. So these are the right sides. And these are the wrong sides.
Okay.
And we're going to put the right sides together.
Friends.
And we're going to clip, or you can pin them as together as good as you can match up the edges. So if you did a poor job cutting out your circles, you may have some parts that don't match up.
Are you implying that I may have done a poor job cutting out my circles?
What? No.
In front of the internet, Laura? Really?
So you can probably handle this part, right?
I don't know what those are. I've only used the pins.
I just got these. I've been wanting them for a while. So you
How
can
does this
just
work?
pin them on the edges every once in a while.
Okay. Is more clips better?
Depends on how skilled you are.
So more clips is better.
The nice thing about quilting fabric is it lays pretty flat, so you probably don't need too many clips. So I'll do this one and you do the big one. Deal?
I'm supposed to do all of it.
You'll do the big one. Deal?
Deal. The folks at home are going to know I didn't apply clips to this.
Alright, that looks good to me, so I want you to do the same thing with these guys, even placing.
Yes, I need to do it. So we go the pretty sides against each other, right?
Yes.
So we're going to lay this out, and I'm just going to put the pretty side up. And then I'm going to put the pretty side down. I just had this thought, like, we probably should have done one of these in advance and say, oh, Jesse's doing this for the first time, but actually I would have had a practice bag. We didn't do that. And, oh, there's the buttonhole.
Yes.
Fun.
It's good now. Now I got to
Now
do this part.
clippies. And this is flat side here.
I think
So
I had.
you
to go
have
with
them
that.
all sorts of ways.
I do.
That's
I
fine.
don't think it particularly matters.
Well, one side is flat. Does that matter?
Your face is flat.
It's really not. I have a very long nose. This reminds me of that game you would get to play in gym class with the big parachute, but you only got to do it like once a year, and it was the best game that all the kids loved.
Now we're going to sew them together. So a couple things. We are going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Okay.
So that means we're going to sew in a 1/4 inch from the edge all the way around. Well, not all the way around. We're going to leave an inch or 2 opening so that we can flip them of a hole that I'll still be able to turn it out. This one will be a little trickier, the tinier one, because of the felt circle. And then the other thing is, to get around the curves, we may want to shorten our stitch length. So traditionally mine has a 2.5 stitch.
Okay.
I'm going to shorten my stitches a little bit just to make it easier to go around curves. So I'm just going to knock it down a little bit to 2.
So.
And unlike with basting, we are going to back stitch at the beginning and end of our stitching just to make sure everything is nice and secure. So do you want to start with the little one or the big one?
I am indifferent. I'm going to start with the little one. That seems easier to manage.
The big one's going to be easier
I'm going to start with the big one. That seems easier to manage.
because your curves aren't as extreme. So why don't we do that so you get some practice with that.
Too many of these.
Okay, now back up. Go forward. And then just go as slow as you want or as fast as you want, all the way around, leaving an inch or 2 opening at the end.
Okay.
Trade.
All right.
How much do you have left?
I think about 1/4 millimeter. What do I do there?
What are you talking about?
Sorry.
Do not do what Jesse did.
I apparently didn't leave enough of a hole to turn it inside out.
Any hole.
There is well over 1/4 millimeter there.
No.
I should be doing this.
No, you'll fuck it up more.
Sorry. Sorry, kids at home. But you're not going to make the same mistakes I do, because you're going to learn from mine. Okay, it looks great. She's giggling out of pride. How did I do over there? Did I miss entirely?
No, it was fine.
It is fine.
It'll probably be fine.
It'll probably be fine, everyone.
All right, on to the next step.
On to the next step.
Next
So
step
next step is step
5.
5, yeah?
Yes.
Step 5.
Which we can go right into, because we don't need any prep.
Alright, should I cut even? Step 5 is cutting. What are we cutting?
We are going to cut around our circle
Okay.
little notches about every inch or so.
No, you don't do it. I have to do
I'm
it.
going to show you. Watch and
These are
learn.
called gussets.
I don't think that's what they're
They're
called.
called gaskets.
Maybe. I don't know what they're called. I call them notches. So you don't want to cut your string, but you want to get close to the string, and you're going to cut little tiny triangles all around and make a little triangle
You're
messes.
so close to the stitches there.
I know.
That's probably dangerous.
So that is what you get to do now.
Okay.
All the way around.
Man, that
Both-
looks
both circles.
I'm going to show the kids at home here. So she put little thingies here. Oh,
And this step is so that it doesn't pucker when you turn it right side out. It looks nice and pretty.
oh man, I did a terrible job there. Ugh. It's fine. This doesn't even do anything. Oops. So what I've done is I've gone around about every, inch and a half, 2 inches, and just cut these little notches around the edge.
You want to do every inch,
Yeah, you want to do every inch, but
inch and a half, not 2 inches. That's not 2 inches.
this is, according to me, this is 3 inches. Look at that whole 6 inches there. Anyway, and Laura was telling me in between takes that my seams are just perfect. They're not too large at all. They're, just masterful. It's as if I were just preternaturally good at this, right?
His seams are a little big, so you just want to make sure you keep an eye while you're sewing that you're keeping that 1/4 inch seam allowance the whole time.
Well, it's like jockeys, bigger is better.
No.
Okay.
You're going to have a smaller bag if you do it that way.
Well, you told me that size doesn't count, so it's fine.
What step are we on?
This was 5.
That was 5?
I promise. This was 5. What is next? 6?
6.
6 comes after 5. Every time.
So I want to get the towels down.
So yeah, we're going to iron right here on our kitchen table, and we're going to cause the laminate to bubble up. Laura's going to leave while I'm talking. It's fine. Movies. Okay, so step 6, we're going to take our big circles with these little notches taken out of them, right? Mm-hmm. Are we going to turn them inside out first? Or
We're going to turn them right side out. They're inside out right now.
So we're going to do that first, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to push that out of the little hole that we left. Mm-hmm. Let me find that. So we're going to find the gap in our stitching, and it's going to leave a little hole, and we're just going to invert that. Are you doing mine? You're
doing the little one, I'll do the big one.
How big is the hole on that one?
It's fine.
Well, I'm just saying, I would like to use one with a bigger hole.
Okay, you want to trade?
No, it's too late now. You've already done the work. They're going to know that I didn't do all of this work. Look, I told them in the intro, probably, that I did all of the work.
We haven't filmed the intro yet.
Yeah, we're consummate professionals. You film the intro after you have the footage, so you don't say anything stupid, like I'm about to.
You film the intro after so you can show them what you're making.
Oh, yes. And hopefully it doesn't turn out shit. You're really fast at that. This one is the harder one. That's why.
It is the harder one. You picked the harder one.
Well, it's fine, team. We could just have the lining be inside out. I'm afraid to destroy it. It's not that I'm not strong enough, Laura. It's that I fear that I'm too strong. I fear that I am too powerful.
I did not assume you were fearing you weren't strong enough.
Well, the people at home might have been. Isn't she charming, everybody? This is my wife. I get to hang out with her almost every day, and I haven't gotten tired of it a little bit. And she, I don't think, has gotten very tired of me.
So now we have foofy circles that aren't very circular and don't look that great. So the next step is to iron them. And what I do is I take a shish kebab skewer, and I don't know anyone else that does this. I think they take sticks or something. And I kind of use the curved part.
Could you be any more stereotypically Arab?
And I just kind of go around the edges and poke it out so everything's nice and circular and everything's pushed out where it's supposed to be. And sometimes I take the iron while I'm doing this with the skewer there, and I'll press on it so we have a nice, beautiful pressed circle.
I was really wondering what you were going to do with that. I saw the shish kebab skewer. I'm like,
look how good of a job it did already, and this before it's even ironed. So do you want to do that one and also iron both of these?
And just kind of popping out the edges like so, like you were doing, right?
Yeah.
I honestly had no idea what you had planned for this thing.
And the round edge really works. You can use the pointy edge, but I feel like the round edge works so well, which is why I use a shish kebab skewer.
This particular skewer was in meat like 18 hours ago, and I don't think I washed it. That works really well. You're a genius.
I know.
She's literally a genius, you guys. Her IQ is super duper high, and mine is super duper low.
It's not true. He's very smart.
I'm a very fart smeller.
So I would just keep that shish kebab skewer in there, actually, while you iron, and so that way you can push out edges as needed. You'll see why.
So I'm going to just push this in the middle super hard, right?
I would focus on the edges.
How's that?
Looking pretty good. So if you have find any edges kind of going back in, you can always poke and then re-iron at the same time.
See, I only have the two hands.
Well, I can do this by myself, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I don't know how.
So now that you push that section out, might be a good time to press.
Iron smells neat. Reminds me of my childhood. My mom used to do a lot of ironing. She was a sewist as well. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful co-star and a great and patient teacher. All right. That's good, right?
Yeah.
That looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So now do the same thing with this one.
Great. Now we're going to repeat that step, and we are going to take our kebab skewer and pop out these edges as we iron them down.
It really does work well.
It works really well. Kids, I think the takeaway here is to go out and get yourself a kebab skewer.
For sewing.
For sewing.
And if you have a good kebab recipe, also put it in the comments.
Do not, because mine is the best, and I will be pissed at you. I feel like my kebabs are excellent. We had them the other night.
We did. We made tabbouleh too.
Yeah, and we made... Is it pronounced tzatziki?
I don't know.
Tzatziki?
I'm not Greek.
I know, but it's good on kebabs. Whatever it is, it's yogurt and cucumber and garlic based, and with dill, and it's good on most things.
And once you are done with this, so this is a cheat I use that people probably not like, but you're supposed to hand sew the section that was open shut, and I am lazy, so I just sew over it close to the edge.
That's what I'm gonna do, because I'm also lazy.
So you have to try to make it look as neat as possible.
That's step 7 though.
No, we'll just come and keep it in this step.
Want to know why it's also step 7?
Why?
Because the iron is plugged into where the...
Okay.
So...
Step 7.
So we're on step 7?
Step 7 is to sew our tiny openings shut. We're going to machine sew them.
Does that mean I need to plug in the sewing machine, Laura?
Yes, it does mean you need to plug in the sewing machine.
I was hoping I could power it with enthusiasm and wishes. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, as I showed you earlier, we have little holes, and I need to make them even smaller holes.
So here I try to get as close to the edge when you're sewing as possible so it's more hidden.
Well, as I illustrated earlier, I'm very good at getting close to the edge while sewing. In fact, I was so good, I sewed directly over something that we were not supposed to sew over. I did great.
All right, how'd you do?
So good. It's beautiful, you guys.
Actually, you did not do too bad. Looks pretty good.
She says with surprise.
See, on the outside, you won't even really notice it because your thread blends so well.
I did a good job picking thread that blends well.
Here you go.
All right. So now I'm going to close up the hole on the inside circle.
Yep.
We need to come up with better terminology for that.
The small circle.
Sure. Look at that. I did even better on that one. It's like practice makes perfect.
All right, now our holes are closed. I think we're ready for the next step.
What's the next step, Laura?
Step 8.
Sew. Step
Sew.
8. Oh, sew.
There is sewing involved in step 8.
Good.
So we're gonna take our big circle
My big circle. I made it.
and we're gonna put the main side, the main fabric, down.
Mm-hmm.
And have our accent fabric up. That's a good, what we should call it, accent fabric.
Oh.
Then we're gonna take our little circle, put the little circle onto the big circle, nice and centered. Make sure it all looks even. That looks pretty good to me. What do you think?
I mean, yes, that looks perfect.
Slightly down.
Mathematically perfect.
And then what I'm gonna do, or you can
No,
do if
what
you
I
want,
am going to do.
is to stick a pin right in the middle again.
Okay, so I have to do this. So the folks at home know that if I can do it, they can do it. There we go. It is pinned in the middle-ish area.
So you're gonna sew all the way around, right over the basting you sewed before.
Okay.
Be sure to backstitch at the beginning and end so it's nice and secure.
Okay.
Think you can handle that?
As you well know, I am pretty handsy. I matched the thread so well, it's literally invisible. I'm a genius.
Do you want me to do it?
No. No, where's my sexy mini painting glasses? Those will be helpful in this situation. We're fine. She's going to be so proud of me when she sees what I've done here. You ready to be proud, Laura?
Yeah.
Good.
And this one, since it's a smaller curve, you can take it slow around. You probably do want to take it slow on this one.
This is looking cool, Laura.
Yeah, you're almost done.
Good. These people are probably tired of watching us. They're probably tired of watching me. They are probably enraptured by you like I am. Post your thirst comments below. She doesn't like that.
Do not do that.
If I had known that I was going to be using that basting line that I was doing earlier as a guide later, I would have done a good job.
Did you backstitch at the end there?
I did.
Okay.
So I've gone around, and I think I've pretty much hit my basting
Yeah.
line there, like really close by.
And if you need to clean up a little bit, if you need to use the seam ripper to pull out any like stray basting, you can, or you can just not do that.
You can leave it, no one cares.
No one will notice. I tend to try to do it.
Never do this part. This is not part of step 7. Is this step 7 or 8?
I don't know.
This is step 8 actually, because step 7 was when we closed up the little holes.
Was that?
Yep.
Okay.
This is step 8. I'll fix it with a voiceover later. Our voices will say 7, but our mouths will say 8.
You should make my voice be going when your mouth is moving, and then like vice versa.
Why don't you just mouth the word 7 and I'll say it?
Okay.
7.
I don't think you went all the way around. You did not.
I saw a string. I was like, oh, cool, I'm done. Shut up. So what I've done is I've neglected to go all the way around. Looks great. It's all the way around.
Okay.
And we're going to pretend like I didn't fuck up before.
Okay.
Okay. So what I've done is I've gone and sewn around the felt piece in the center using the basting stitch as a guide, and it's all nice and solid. Makes a beautiful hat. What are you doing? Oh. And now we're done.
No, we're not done.
You can wear it. You can fill it with nachos.
On the next step.
Okay. So step 9?
Step 9 is
Step
the
9.
pocket step.
The pocket
This is
step.
the most fun step, I think. We are putting 8 pockets in our dice bag, but you can feel free to adapt this to however many pockets you want or don't want. Maybe you want less, maybe you want more. I thought about doing 7 so I can have, you know, split the dice up by their like sizes. So D20s all in one.
Oh.
And, yeah, but that's kind of up to you.
Is it too late to do that?
We're not gonna do that.
Okay, shit.
I've already divided my pattern up into 8 wedges here.
Okay.
So this is the same pattern we used for to cut out the big circle. And my cheat for this is just to take the paper, and so I can see where my lines are, and just put this guy over it. And then to use the straight edge and then line them up where my lines
Oh,
are.
that's genius.
And then
You're so smart.
to see how to line my pockets up here.
That's genius.
So I make sure it's nice and straight.
No, I draw.
Wait, I'm gonna do one,
No.
and then you do the others.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna skip drawing on the middle here. So this is a disappearing ink pen. So it will disappear after this. So I just make sure I wanna see our lines, and then you can do the other ones if you want.
I do want to do the
So
other
try not
ones.
to move it too much. Just move this plastic piece. So like,
And line that up with like the cuts and the marks.
yeah, the cuts and the marks.
And you'll have a pattern just like this, thanks to the handy dandy PDF that I'm probably going to make. Link in the description below. So that's lined up, and we're just drawing from here to the inside circle, correct?
Yes.
Because we don't need to sew over that. Okay.
Now I will turn it for you.
Is that a broccoli ranch bird?
Probably.
I love you. It's sewing. Precision doesn't matter.
So it does matter.
Oh,
Just like in
Shit.
baking. I'm the baker, he's the cooker.
I'm also the butcher. I'm going to do this part. I want footage of me doing it. Oh. You
I
moved
just want to
it.
make sure that we're not moving the fabric too much.
Well, you moved the fabric, and this is like the
No, I
last
did
time you
not.
move
It's
it.
fine.
I can move rulers. I don't need her help. So I'm just going to take this like Laura showed me. Line it up. Don't shake your head. I'm doing a great job. They're not going to see the preamble, so they're just going to see you not being supportive.
I know you're going to edit this so I look horrible.
Unfortunately, you're so beautiful I can't. Okay.
And now you're going to start at each pocket line.
Okay.
Start at near the felt circle, but don't sew into the felt circle. And sew all the way to the edge.
Okay. What happens if I sew into the felt circle, Laura?
Just don't.
Just don't, guys.
Just don't.
Never fuck up, because then you have to leave the country.
So go all the way around
Okay.
and backstitch at the beginning and end so
Yeah.
it's nice and locked in.
Like you've been doing this entire time.
Yeah.
This is another step, isn't it?
No, this is the same step.
This is-
We're
we're
just
still
the
on
pocket
9?
step.
Pocket step is 9.
Pocket step, and the next step will brie.
Oh man, that's a callback. Okay. How'd I do? I did great. That's how I did.
Looks good. I'd get a little bit closer to the edge, and you can even turn this one forward. So you just do one.
Okay. I did great. Laura says I did great and could not have done any better.
That looks fine. You're doing a good job.
I'm doing a great job. You hear what she said, everybody? I'm doing a good job.
Now you just have 6 more of those to go.
Then that's the last step and we can go home.
No.
Shit. It's looking so cool.
Yeah.
It's looking neat. Look at this, you guys. I'm making a thing out of stuff. Oh man, it's looking so neat. I only have 3 more of those. And then it's done, and we can all go home.
No.
Okay. It's looking cool, honey.
Yeah.
2 more of those, and then we're done. That joke is the joke, I'm telling. I am very disappointed in our lack of puns right now.
At least it's not the bag joke.
The bag joke is a great... So my favorite joke is when we go to the supermarket or wherever you might shop for goods and wares. The cashier often says, "Would you like a bag?" And I point at my beautiful, adoring, and kind wife, and I say, "No thank you. I already have a bag." And everyone laughs and laughs. Did I call you adoring? You're adoring, right? You adore me.
I do like you.
I adore you.
One more?
One more, and then the bag is entirely finished.
No.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
So we've got all of our pockets sewn in. Look at that.
Yeah. So when it bunches together, now you'll have all these little pockets starting to come together.
Come together.
We have pockets.
Okay. So that was step 9.
Step 10. We are going to sew the drawstring channel. So basically, we have our buttonhole on the outside here, and we're going to sew a circle all the way around the bottom of the buttonhole and a circle all the way at the top of the buttonhole so that we can thread some string around to be able to pull it closed.
Cord. I used cord.
Yeah.
It's paracord for parachuting, which is fun because this looks like a parachute.
So step 1 of this step 10 is to flip it over. So we're looking at the pockets. For this step, I recommend doing it on this side, and you're just going to sew right outside the pockets, but do not sew into the pockets all the way around. Backstitch at the start and beginning, and just make one big circle around your pockets, as close to the pockets as possible.
Okay. Sounds good. I will do that right now. So should I just rest the foot outside of the pocket, or is that
get
too
as
far?
close. You want the needle almost touching the pockets, but
Alright.
not going onto the pocket. Just make sure the needle is not going into the pocket
Sure.
at any point.
Absolutely. This is going to turn out great, you guys. There will be 40 minutes of footage on the cutting room floor of Laura just angrily ripping stitches. Here we
Take
go.
it slow.
A good name for a sewing YouTube channel would be Pleats and Thank You. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd I do, though? Tell them how I did.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
Chill.
oh.
Calm down.
I need positive affirmations.
Let me just make sure you haven't sewed in any pockets, that all our pockets are free to get in. Looks like you did good to me. I'm just going to check the outside. Looks good.
Looks super good, right?
Yeah.
You're
You didn't
proud.
get too high up on your button. That's good. All right. So we are going to now sew the upper part of the channel at the top of the buttonhole.
Okay. Is there a way to measure that, or are we eyeballing this mofo?
So you're going to want to probably...
I'm going to go in the darker fabric, right?
No, we're going to start here because
Oh,
you want to go on the
dear.
outside.
Good. It
I
blends
wanna
really
go on the
well.
top.
Okay, so you want about a 1/4 inch channel here along the top edge. Great. That doesn't look really difficult at all.
All the way around. Take it slow.
So I got to make sure to not sew my channel shut at any
Too
point.
narrow or too narrow either.
Too narrow or too shut.
Yeah.
Got to not do those things.
So
The-
don't reference the edge of your fabric. Reference the other channel line.
Okay, there's just no markers there, but I've got this, you guys. You're going to be so impressed with the consistency of my stitching. I think I'm doing good.
Yeah, I think you were making it seem harder than it is.
Seam harder.
Seem harder.
We're doing some puns.
This is the last sewing. We're almost done.
You don't have to see me make weird faces. We're concentrating. Back stitching. Lock it in. Tell the YouTube how I did. Tell the YouTubes.
Looks pretty good. You went a little high on your buttonhole here. It's fine though. We'll make it work.
It's not only look. It's not. This is not going to impact anything. What is that going to impact? Nothing. That's what.
It'll just make you have less fluff on your edges.
I don't like fluff on my edges.
All right. Next step.
Arrange our bears. Okay, step 11. Is this the last step?
This is the last step.
We're almost done.
So we're gonna just have to add our drawstring. I recommend getting a tiny safety pin for this. And what you're gonna do is attach it to the end of a cord. We're using paracord, but you can use any kind of string or ribbon. And what you're gonna do is find your buttonhole, and you're gonna stick it in and work that safety pin around. And it may take some time.
Okay.
Move your bears here.
So we've attached the paracord to the safety pin just to make it easier to push through that channel. We're just going to work that through there, huh? Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it does take some time a little bit, so just be patient with this step.
Patience is my middle name. I'm not a creature of remarkable patience, am I?
You're very patient,
Am I?
depending.
Depending, oh yes.
Unless you're just in stress mode. Like before this video started, he was not very patient.
I was not stressed before this video at all. Why the fire?
To burn the ends of the paracord
To
when we're
burn
done.
the ends of the paracord when we're done, that's right. Don't yawn on camera, that's bad YouTube.
You're editing that out.
No, I'm not. My wife is very pretty, you guys. Look at her. I love her very much. Most of the good ideas on this channel have come from her, and most of the bad ones were mine. If you enjoy the channel, you have her to thank. If you hate the channel, I'm really sorry about that, and I'll try and do better next time.
How do you feel about this channel?
So, yes, this is a channel that we're working this safety pin through. So now that I've fed the paracord through the channel that I've sewn, what's next, wife?
Pull out one end.
Okay.
I usually try to pull out more and then trim down and figure out what I need.
Okay.
Usually you want enough to be able to tie your pouch shut.
Okay. Okay. I feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
So I cut that off.
And you'll need some to tie on your bears.
I feel like that's enough to tie on bears.
He bought some bear buttons.
Yeah, so where are my bear buttons? I had 2 of them picked up.
Right here.
There they are. Oh, look at these cute little bastards. Oh my god, they're just the cutest bear buttons that have ever been. We were supposed to just use beads or something,
You don't have to do anything, honestly. This is just an optional step.
but I feel like if you can find cute bear beads, then they are non-optional. We're going to tie our cute bears on there. They also, I mean, the purpose of them, right, is to prevent the cord from slipping back through.
But also you can just put knots at the end of your thing so it doesn't go back in too. You don't have to add buttons. I did not double knot it. You told me not to.
I told you not to.
You told me not to double knot.
Just send you to the rope so it doesn't come untied. We're almost done, guys. I learned how to sew a dice bag, and it makes sense once you do it. I was absolutely panicking before this video started because I was like, there's so many pieces. People aren't gonna know what to do. And she's like, they will know what to do. They're very smart.
I was like, if they have a sewing machine, they probably have a lot of these materials already.
And I didn't believe in you, and I'm sorry, YouTube. Look how cute. Oh my god, there's little bears on the end of it. Ugh.
Should we get some dice to add to it?
Yes. So guys, I finished my dice bag. I think it looks really cute. I don't know. Thank you, Laura, for helping me with that.
Show off here.
What should we say in closing? So that was the last step. We sewed our channel shut. We fed the strings through. We put our daily boppers on there. And I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, it was a good craft night for Valentine's Day when you can't go out during the pandemic and all.
Yeah, I got to hang out with this beautiful lady and make a thingy, a dice baggie.
We match with our polka dots.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but mine's smaller polka dots. She's got big polka dots. Anyway, thanks for watching that. I don't know how to end this segment. How do we end this segment? Neat. And here it is. I think it turned out really, really great. Laura, thank you so much for coaching me through that. I could not and probably would not have done that without you. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
If you make a dice bag of your own, please show us your creation. The best way to do so would be to tweet at Jesse Jerdak. And be sure to like this video and hit subscribe. It really makes them happy.
It really does, every time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a great Valentine's Day. I got to spend it with my beautiful wife, and I got to make a fun thing. As always, please mask up, get out there, and support your local game stores. We need them, and now more than ever, they need us. Have a good one, guys.